Which country is the dirtiest one?
For me, it's more important which is the dirtiest country per head.
Oh,
That says something about how the people behave.
right. Everyone just collect 2.2 kilogram. The world will be free from the plastic, you said.
Yeah,
Like, how you calculate this?
that's difficult mathematics.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of cows here in India eating a lot of trash, and even the plastic is still hanging out of the mouth. And for one cow, I pulled out the plastic bag. It was down the throat, and it was never ending. I pulled out the plastic bag from the throat,
Yeah.
and I heard from a couple of Indian people that they saw cows dying on the street because everything was blocked with plastic. They could not eat anymore, and just we're starving to death with the plastic in the body. That's heartbreaking.
हमारे साथ में टॉबी है जो कि जर्मनी से है। पास्ट 4 ईयर्स से वो ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं। 35 कंट्रीज अभी तक उन्होंने ट्रैवल कर चुके हैं। और सबसे स्पेशल चीज़ ये है कि प्लास्टिक फ्री रहना चाहिए अपना अर्थ, इसके लिए उनका मिशन है। तो मैं बहुत प्रिविलेज्ड हूँ और बहुत ग्रेटफुल हूँ कि उनके साथ में मुझे कन्वर्सेशन करने का मौका मिला। एंड थैंक यू सो मच टॉबी for giving me this opportunity to talk with you today. And welcome to my podcast.
Thank you very much for your invitation.
Tell me, what's the inspiration for you to go around the world, travel the world, and clean the world?
Yeah, well, I always had in the back of my mind to do a little bit with the cleanups. I wanted to clean a river in Spain as a one thing, once in a lifetime, a big river, because I saw all the pictures from what is happening all over the world with plastic pollution, and I wanted to contribute or do something. Yeah, Spain was surprisingly clean. I did not find this river in Spain. I thought it's possible to find it there, but later I found a very polluted beach in Portugal.
Oh,
And I cleaned this beach. This was my first bag. It was super easy. It was fun. I felt great after doing it. How easy it was to make a change.
Mhm.
So I just kept doing it.
Which country is the dirtiest one?
I don't want to say that because it's hard to say.
Oh,
Because it's more a regional thing. In
Yeah.
every country, you have clean areas, dirty areas. It would need an investigation
Yeah.
of a bigger group of scientists, and still then it's just a guess, I think, because nobody can count.
Yeah, of course.
But I would say, okay, if you say, for me it's more important which is the dirtiest country per head.
Per head.
Yeah, because India has 1.4 billion people.
Yeah.
So just by the amount of people, India is dirty.
Yeah.
You go to Norway where there is 5 million people.
Mhm.
There is much less
Population.
population and therefore also pollution.
Yeah.
So you cannot say, yes, I'm Norway, our country is clean, we are great, and India is not great. The more important is how much is polluted by person. That says something about how the people behave.
Right.
Yeah, every individual and as a bigger group, they cause the pollution problem. Yeah, but yeah, that brings me to my topic, this per head thing. The trash that ends up in nature every year is only 2.2 kilograms per head. So
Yeah,
it's
if
not
you're
much. It's not much.
Everyone just collect 2.2 kilogram. The world will be free from the plastic, you said.
Yeah,
Like, how you calculate this?
that's an easy calculation
Okay.
based on not so easy research.
Mm-hmm.
I could not do it alone. An institute did it in
wow.
Germany. They have their volunteers and students, and they do little measurements or cleanups to estimate the pollution in a certain area.
Right.
And if you do it globally, you can have a guess how much trash is going out there. So the number is 4.6 billion tons to 12.7 billion tons. That's the estimation how much is going out there. So what I did
wow.
is I took the worst case to be sure to solve the problem when
Yeah.
I start with something. Of course, 12.7 billion tons divided by 8 billion people makes 1.67 kilograms.
Mm-hmm.
And there, on top on this, I put it 25% safety factor.
Oh.
This makes 2.2 kilograms.
Mm-hmm.
The safety factor is important because if we really start a litter picking culture or movement, and we go a couple of years to really solve the problem, we also have to remove the past. So a little to do a little bit more than necessary for the actual year.
Yeah.
We take out the past as well. And yeah, this makes 2.2 kilograms, which is still not out of range and doable by, I would
Everyone.
say, everyone. Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
everyone. It's difficult mathematics.
You were engineer before you started this journey, right?
Yes.
Like, then did you get fired from your job, or you said you
yeah,
had trouble?
you can't really get fired in Germany.
Oh yeah.
If the company is still making profit,
Mm-hmm.
and because you're part of the company, it's also part of your work to make profit.
Right.
But they ask you, do you want to leave? If we give you some money, do you want to leave? So they asked me a couple of times, and from a certain point, it's not fun anymore to work there when they ask you all the time to
Yeah.
leave. So yeah, and I had this plan to travel anyway, so it felt right to let go and
Of course.
search for something else. The job I do right now with my litter picking is much more demanding and complicated than what I did as an engineer.
Oh wow.
As an engineer, you have your one thing, your one little piece in the big machinery of the company, and it's after 3 months it gets boring. You do it always the same thing.
Same thing.
You're the specialist on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe demanding in the beginning when you try to get into the topic,
Mm-hmm.
but after a while, it's repetitive and it's not interesting anymore. Here is this job. Everything is always changing. New language, new culture, new country, constantly moving, trying to understand how to speak to people, to convince them to come into cleanups, to help me. That's, that's a fulfilling thing to do for me. Something with purpose, something that's always changing. I learn a lot, and
Wow.
yeah.
But it must be hard not going home for years and years. Like you said, you've been out with on your van on the road for past 4 years. Like it's really scary for some people, you know.
I would say it's a thing of your personality.
Yeah,
Some people like this, some people like that.
of course.
But of course, I also grew into this.
Mhm.
I did not start with driving to India. I started with driving inside Germany. Then I left to the right,
Mhm.
neighbor in Europe, and then to the left in France, and it becomes bigger and bigger. Of course, in the beginning, it even was an unsecure feeling to sleep in the forest in Germany. But meanwhile, I feel safer somewhere in nature, to park somewhere in nature and sleep there with my van than being in a town or city. I feel really safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was never homesick. I also always come home, kind of, when I enter my van. Yeah, it's my home, and I constantly change my garden. That's how I see it. Well, I traveled with my girlfriend, now ex-girlfriend, for 3 years in Europe. That's something you miss.
Yeah.
The company or the closest person you can have in life. If she is in the van, life is better, definitely.
It became home.
Yeah, it feels like you share your life with someone. I mean, it's not much different from the life in Germany when I live with my partner in the van and travel the world. Because yeah, people always ask you, how are you doing, where are you, but also just on the phone, because they're always busy with their lives.
Yeah,
They
of
do
course.
this and that, and they also do something with their wives, and it hardly happens that you really meet each other. Everybody's so busy with their life, so it does. I'm in contact with all my friends through the phone and calling and video calls when they have time, and that's why I never get too homesick.
Oh,
After 5 years not hearing anything, maybe you get very homesick. Yeah.
yeah, of course.
But I'm in constant
Contact.
exchange. Yeah. The only thing is this one person, this one real person
Oh, yeah.
is not here.
Can you describe your typical day of traveling the world and cleaning the world?
Yeah, I get up at 6 in the morning. Then I get coffee or tea, chai with milk. Then it's depending where I am. If I'm in a climbing area, I go climbing. If I'm in a mountain area, I go hiking or mountain biking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. If there's snow, I go skiing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, later I rest a little bit, do some social media for my project. Then I do a cleanup, or I do networking at the place where I am to organize a cleanup with people. Yeah, and then pretty much the day is over. So I do activities in nature,
Yeah.
clean nature,
Of
and
course.
try to get in touch with the people in the place where I am. That's pretty much my and studying vocabulary.
Yeah,
I
right.
always wanna.
That's also important.
That's important. Yeah.
Yeah, so is it because you love nature so much and you like hiking, climbing, swimming, skiing? That's why you are on this mission to clean everything, to clean this earth.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I was always very connected to nature through my sports. Been doing biathlon as a professional. It's cross country skiing and rival shooting. It's a winter sport. And I always was training outside, outdoors,
Wow.
the whole year in nature. And yeah, that's why I think I have this empathy with nature and the wish to protect it.
Wow, it's really inspiring for me and so many people watching right now. Thank you. Bobby, what are some shocking and disheartening things you have witnessed during your journey?
I saw a lot of cows here in India eating a lot of trash, and even the plastic is still hanging out of the mouth. And for one cow, I pulled out the plastic bag. It was down the throat, and it was never ending. I pulled out the plastic bag from the throat,
Yeah.
and yeah, you can imagine how it looks like in the stomach.
Oh.
And I heard from a couple of Indian people that they saw cows dying on the street because everything was blocked with plastic. They could not eat anymore and just were starving to death with the plastic in the body. That's heartbreaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw some dogs sleeping in the trash. That also looks not nice, but yeah, they kind of built the cozy nest. Yeah. But when animals eat it, this is the most heartbreaking, I would say, because they don't know at all what they do. They cannot say this is poison and plastic is not good for me. You can also not teach them. You really have to take the trash away so they have no access to the trash. Yeah, then a couple of birds were caught in lines. Here in India, they have this kite festival,
Yeah.
and I saw I cutted some lines to free doves, pigeons. Yeah, there in Ahmedabad there are, for example, a couple of volunteer groups who do this every year for the festival because a lot of birds get caught in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is what you directly see. But the saddest, the even saddest, I would say, was that it felt people ignore it, completely ignore it. You come to a picnic place, it's full of trash, and then there are 20, 30 people, and you are the only one to have the idea, let's clean the place before we have picnic. They come here, put the blanket on the picnic, and yeah, it feels like we became so dull, we don't even feel the tragedy of the trash, and people don't feel the urge to do something. Oh, this is sad. I can't see it. I do something. They, yeah, just for their own pleasure, you know. Not 5 minutes of work or 10 minutes. There is not much needed to clean a place. I put my blanket here, eat, drink, and then I drive home, and even leaving more trash there. Yeah, that's hard to watch.
Yeah.
Or it, I have questions. Why is it only a couple of people who feel the need from inside to change this? Yeah. And yeah, I hope with education and giving hope that it's solvable. Maybe they don't do it because they think it's hopeless anyway. But with giving hope and education and motivation, I hope I can change this attitude that, yeah, first things first. First we clean, then we celebrate, and not celebrating and putting more trash there. Yeah.
So Toby, what are some common places you find plastic?
I would say in the cities there is the most trash. The more people, the more trash. But the cities are kind of under control. It's concrete, and somebody is coming to clean. But we are talking about trash in nature. I want to clean nature from trash. The 2.2 kilogram is the trash in nature, and therefore unfortunately the most polluted places are the most beautiful places.
Yeah.
Because many people go there, enjoy their time there, have a picnic, drink something, and then they just throw the plastic there. It's good and bad. Well, of course, mainly bad. But if someone decides to pick 2.2 kilograms, you go to a beautiful place, actually. Yeah?
Yeah.
You can enjoy the place, and I guarantee everybody who is deciding to do this, you enjoy the place even more when you become aware, I'm the one who saved this place, this beautiful place. That's the emotional reward for it, and the award is high. So yeah, I hope you go out there, experience it, and then you know what I'm talking about, and you probably want to do it a second time or a third time. It's a cool thing to do. I hope, or I'm trying to make it a trend together with others. It's really, it feels good, it's beautiful, it's fun, and it's like with the same with sports. Everybody knows running is good, just as litter picking. Everybody knows litter picking is good, but to start a run, you know, in the beginning you always have to overcome your refusing kind of, oh, I don't want to run. But after 5 minutes, hey, this is cool, it's fun, I enjoy it, I breathe fresh air. It's the same like with sport.
Oh wow.
The first step to motivate yourself to do the litter picking is the hardest. But as soon you do it, you enjoy it.
Oh.
So yeah, that's the thing you have to make.
It's like a sport.
It's like a sport, yeah. Yeah.
Like climbing or other sports, skiing. It's like a sport.
Yeah,
You feel better after you like do it.
yeah.
You definitely feel better.
Yeah, you get a reward,
Wow.
kind of emotionally. You change something for the better. Drinking beer is the opposite. You get a reward in the beginning. You get drunk and everything feels a little funny, and later you get punished by the headache.
Yeah.
With something good, like sport or litter picking, it's the other way around. In the beginning, or any success in life, in the beginning it feels a little hard,
Yeah.
and in the long run you get the reward, and that's the healthy way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Learning a language. In the beginning it's hard, and then you speak the language, and then you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
I go for the rewards in the long run. The path going there is maybe also fun. Yeah. Strategies, what's the next step, how to get there. It's also fun. It's not just painful. But yeah, taking drugs or just watching television, things that have no purpose, they drain you. You become depressed and depressed and depressed, and my life is shit. Yeah, you made it like that.
Yeah, that's just downward spiral.
Yeah, it's a downward spiral. And yeah, I always say cleaning is healing.
Yeah, of course.
It's good for the mind.
Wow.
It's very good for the mind. When you have a bad day, or you feel you're not important in this world and you cannot change anything for the good in the world, go out there and clean something, and you will come home with a smile for sure, because you feel what I do counts in this world. I'm not nobody. I'm this little cell of the whole humanity. If everybody would be like me, we had a better world, and that you can feel it when you do. Yeah.
If they don't know anything about the microplastic and their effects, how do you explain to people what microplastic is?
Everybody wants to be healthy.
Yeah.
That's important to change the mindset. If someone is drinking a bottle of vodka every day, smoking a box of cigarettes every day, and I come with the microplastic problems as a danger for his health, he would say, yeah, so what? What I do already is much more dangerous for my health.
Yeah.
You cannot convince them, really.
No.
Yeah. They gave up on health.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for everybody else who is actually concerned about the health and just does not know what this plastic is doing, yeah, it's easily explained. It's somewhere out there in the nature. It becomes crispy, more and more crispy, falls into little particles. You can see it, and wind and weather, everything is making it smaller and smaller until it's powder, and the wind can blow it away, the water can wash it away, it goes into the soil, and it's so small, the microplastic, that plants suck it up with the water. It's inside the plants. Well, animals, if you eat meat, animals eat it as well, and it's somewhere in the body. So you eat it through fish, you drink it through water, and unfortunately you also eat it if you're a vegetarian. You're not free from this problem.
Wow.
And the problem is already concerning, because we take 5 grams of microplastic into our bodies with breathing, with drinking, with eating, and 5 grams means the size of a credit card, and
we consume it every day.
every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks?
Yeah. That's the microplastic of the past. So all the plastic that is still solid and not fallen into particles in nature is the potential of the future. It will be 10, 15, 20 grams in the future. And you could also say it's a shot. The size of a shot glass of schnapps or whiskey or something. And who would drink every 14 days a shot of diesel or benzene or something?
Yeah.
And plastic is a fossil thing, just like fossil fuel. Who would do this every 2 weeks? Everybody would say, whoa, you want to kill me? Yeah, but we actually do it. We actually do it. And that's why I think it is so important to be quick now and not waiting for AI or any other solution or technical solution when the solution is already there. We can do it with our hands.
Of course.
We can do it right now, in the very second. You can go out there and clean something, and you remove the microplastic of the future, from which we don't know what it's going to cause. Well, we have there's no long-term studies, of course, but it's kind of clear. If you drink a shot of diesel every 2 weeks, you're not going to be healthy in the future. I don't need to study to figure that out. Some unborn boys became unfertile in the womb of the mother already through microplastic. And if the plastic is small enough, it can exit the digestion system to the bloodstream, and then it's traveling everywhere in the body. It's going to the brain. In some way it gets stuck. So you have plastic in your brain. And I also don't want to have that. really. Yeah.
No one want to have that, of course not.
Yeah. So
And
yeah.
I've heard that the microplastic also cause cancer and many different big diseases in
Yeah.
human body.
Yeah, it's
It's crazy,
very
yeah.
likely. If you know already, if you work in a distillation factory where uh, diesel, benzene, gasoline is produced from raw oil, and you have all the vapor from heating the raw
Yeah.
oil, this is causing cancer.
Mhm.
You know the same will happen with the plastic
Yeah.
in our body. Yeah, it's
Wow.
logical. If somebody would say many people die of cars. There is a study, and we are not sure if a truck hits you, you also die. You know, there is no study yet. It's kind of the
Yeah,
same.
yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
they,
don't need it to know a truck is also killing you when.
maybe the one who are producing the plastic don't want us to know all this, so they keep making money out of it. I don't know. What do you
Yeah,
think?
for sure. If I would work in this business, well, I actually worked in this business.
Yeah.
I was an engineer for robot hats for a bottling factory,
Oh wow.
and we delivered to Coca-Cola as well.
Oh.
So I was actually part of it to produce all those plastic bottles.
Mhm.
Yeah, when you're addicted to this money, you can earn with this. And never, people say never change a running system. They invested into plastic
Mhm.
for the next 10, 20 years, and it makes them a millionaire. They don't want to stop the production. They might change their mind if we deliver on the same factories alternative materials,
Hmm.
compostable,
Compostable.
or degradable materials with exactly, and that's the crux, the technical crux, with exactly the same qualities like plastic.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, a technician would not decide for this material.
Mhm.
Yeah, it has to be cheap, quick, very various in shaping.
Right.
You know, with plastic you can do any shape. As a designer, I was a mechanical designer on computer-aided design on the PCs. You don't have to think with plastic if this radius is too small, a little bit, but you can design like anything. They can produce it with plastic.
Yeah.
That's the big advantage, and that's why it's so hard to remove from the market, from a technical point of view.
It's hard to replace it with something else
It's hard to replace it, yeah.
because it's cheap
It's
and it's
yeah.
working.
If we don't make it to protect us and nature from plastic, and we really have to ban plastic one day, we go back 50 years in time with our standards or with our technologies. I think nobody wants this. We want to have an alternative for plastic that is biodegradable. That would be the best, but this takes time.
Yeah.
And until we get there, we can continue with plastic. I don't wanna uh, talk bad about plastic in general. So, interior of a car, or yeah, something that lives a little longer isn't, and then recycled. And we have the discipline to recycle. It's not evil. It's not really evil. The evil is more all those wrappings, the single-use shit. You buy a snack, open it in the next minute, and then you throw the wrapping somewhere, and it's not recyclable. That's a big problem. It's not recyclable. And yeah, also, well, the bottles also end on the beach, in the forest, next to the river. But if a country has kind of a system, here in India it exists as well, the women with big white bags walk along the beach and collect all the bottles, and they're recyclable. They bring money, those bottles, and then it's more likely that they take it out of nature. They don't do it for nature, they do it for the money. And all the things that don't bring money stay out there. So either we reward everything with money, that would be a solution, or we make it that people feel responsible and do it from inside to go for cleanup. That's my approach to it.
What are some misconceptions people have about plastic?
This is a big topic. because it needs a lot of education, and in the Western world, the education grew with the same speed like the plastic thing developed. So I think we had some more difficult times in the 80s where there was a lot of trash in nature, but we kind of grew with the problem, and everything is kind of in under control. But other countries, they were surprised by plastic and plastic wrappings and what to do with this material. And there, the biggest misconception is that it's the same like organic stuff. They were used to throw the skin of the banana or the orange or the apple just into nature, force of habit, like we always used to do it. The shell of the coconut, everything can go to nature. This all is good for nature, but the wrapping of nuts, the plastic wrapping of nuts is not the the natural container of the nut, but yeah, they throw it out of habit and think it's going to behave the same way.
Maybe they're just unaware of the things that they are doing to the environment.
Yeah, I think it's a automatism first thing, and the other thing is they don't know it's something different, and that's where education has to start. Organic, not organic. Plastic, not good in nature. Banana, apple, stuff like that, everything organic is good for nature. That's the easy first step in education. If we can make this, to teach this to little children and even the adults, I think for the older people are harder to teach because of this force of habits. But if you make this or bring this message to the countries who kind of struggle with the plastic pollution, that would be a big step.
Some people just know everything, but they still do it.
Yeah, there is.
Just human beings have that thing like self-destruction. They are so self-destructive. They are just aware of everything. They know that this will harm their family, their children, so the next generation. But they still do it.
Yeah, those people exist for sure. This is a very small percentage of people. They are the biggest polluter, probably. Like in other words, they give a shit. They give a shit on anything. But well, we are so many people, 8 billion people. So if 5% are like this, or 10, they can ruin the planet for us as the minority. So I call the reasonable majority. I think it's easier to convince the reasonable people to do something against it than those who gave up already to change. Those people have different problems. They drink too much alcohol, they have some addictions, they gave up on life, they're depressed. For those who know but do it anyway, I think they kind of have a mental health issue, or can also be a lack of discipline. I often observe when things get a little crazy, like 5 young boys and 5 girls come to place, have party, loud music, the emotions get a little bit carried away, and then somebody says, let's go back to the bikes, we drive somewhere, yeah, and everything is left there, and they just go away. It's not because they want to do something bad. They're just young people, not thinking too much, having fun. It can happen. In the heat of the moment, so to say, they got carried away. But yeah, some other people, they just, let's say they're a little bit older and still do it. I think they're just depressed, sit somewhere, crying about their life, and throwing things and then going home. Yeah, many reasons. And nobody of us is free from sin, so to say. You take out the keys of your shorts and maybe the wrapping of your sneakers falls out as well. You put, after swimming, you put the basket next to your car, put the children into the car, and the wind blew out the wrapping of the lunch you had with your children at the beach. So everybody is contributing a little bit to the problem.
Yeah.
And my message is if we know about that, we cannot point with the finger on everybody else. It's his fault, it's theirs fault, it's the Germans, it's the Indians, it's capitalists, or whatever. It's all of us to a certain amount, some more, some less, but in average, per head, it's 2.2 kilograms, and that's not much. And instead of discussing and arguing and blaming people, I said, my message is, don't talk too much. Go out there, do your 2.2 kilograms, and you've done your job. You can rest the rest of the year. You can rest.
Yeah.
It's super easy.
Toby, tell me what are some simple things that everyone should do to reduce their plastic footprint here on Earth?
There are a lot of things to do. Let's start with little things that do not cost too much discipline. To be 100% plastic free is a tough job.
Yeah.
That costs discipline and makes life more complicated and takes a little bit of time from your life. But yeah, everybody starts little. You're not the best football player in one day. You start with little tricks. The same is here. If you go shopping, for example, take your own bag for shopping, so they don't give you the plastic bags all the time. And refuse the plastic bags. They have this habit to give it to you anyway. You have your bag, you fill your vegetables and fruits into the bags, and then you reduce a lot of plastic already. Yeah, that's the easiest. You just have to think about the bag at home. That's the challenge. You put it in the right place where you never forget when you leave your house to go shopping, and then it becomes a habit over time, and you reduce a lot of kilograms over time by not taking new bags of plastic home every day. That's one thing. The other thing is, as long vegetables, here in India it's very good. Vegetables are not wrapped in plastic at the shop.
Yeah.
They just put it into the plastic bag.
Yeah.
In Germany, we are bad in this. We wrap apples, we wrap bananas in plastic.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, you come with your bag, with your made of fabric, non-plastic bag. Want to reduce plastic, and then you buy a banana wrapped in plastic. It's completely nonsense.
Yeah.
Completely nonsense. But I bring the plastic wrapping. I bring together with a certain type of nutrition. Most of the unhealthy things are wrapped in plastic.
Yeah.
Snacks, chips,
Yeah.
all the things you should not eat anyway. So you can win twice. When you refuse the bad nutrition, you also reduce plastic. Buy vegetables and fruits, and the drinks, even water is still in plastic.
Yeah.
But I would say to begin with, a water bottle is not that harming when people pick it and recycle it. I saw it in almost every country that those bottle pickers bring the bottles out of nature again.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you can leave it there. You should always take it home. But if so, somebody will come.
Yeah.
Yeah, for this. But the chips wrappings, nobody will come.
Yeah.
Except for us, little.
The chips or the smaller part of when you open it, the small plastic wrap, and just flew away everywhere.
Yeah. And people might say this is nothing, but multiplied by 8 billion, this is I didn't do the calculations, but it will be several hundreds of kilograms already.
Have you seen any changes in people's behavior or their awareness by the result of your work or your projects that you're doing?
Luckily, yes. I
Wow.
see very good results. I would say my journey is attractive. That's one thing. And the idea is like a huge plan, around the planet. And the amount I did on my own, 4.5 tons already. The word inspiring is pretty often said when I talk about my project and what I do. And it happens very often that I can motivate people right from the spot. When I clean already, they ask for a bag, and then they clean with me. It happens when people are around. It happens all the time. That's one thing. I also get a lot of pictures from around the world. People who follow me on Instagram, the collectors 2.2 kilogram is my account. Follow me and send me pictures. I picked this in the desert of Morocco or something. Well, there is a saying: if you can convince your family, you can convince anybody.
Yeah.
I even convinced my family to do it.
Oh, wow.
They go out there now and clean the 2.2 kilogram.
Wow.
Yeah, and then there is the third thing. We are a community
Yeah.
online. Many people became influencers with litter picking. The term for it is litter picking culture. And through what we do in our performances, we motivate each other. We're like a global team fighting for the same thing. There's a great spirit in there. We call each other. We like the work the others do, the posts the others do. Great and hearts and fire and this, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's a cool
It's
team.
a community feeling. It's
Yeah.
like
With the,
connection you get.
exactly, we're like a global team.
Wow.
And the team cannot be too big. We want everybody in the team. I think well, that's a vision. But yeah, people kind of like to fight. It's also in our nature. And so far, we always fought each other.
Yeah.
And now we have an enemy. The first enemy in the history, probably, who is not a human.
Wow.
It's the trash. We
Oh.
could unite for this problem as the whole humanity and become a team and feel connected with each other, and we all belong to the same team and we fight trash.
Wow.
You know, the biggest team on earth, possibly, potentially.
Also, like healthy competition that people are doing. Who will pick more trash?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. For me, I think I can say this. I started this with the kilogram, the 2.2 kilogram idea, how much is needed, and I document my own kilogram, and others can also participate. I already did 100. Yeah, to collect something or a number in the future. What was your life achievement or something like that? Yeah,
Wow.
that's motivating. I mean, people do it with other things too. They count their kilometers when they go cycling. They count their kilometers when they go running, or they count their calories. How much did I burn? It's the same principle. I count the kilograms and I can say, yes, 4.5 tons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes you
It's
proud.
like a healthy competition.
It's a healthy competition, yeah. The strongest in the community pull the others with them if it's a competition, you know.
Yeah.
There can be a group dynamic.
There should be a tournament of this. Who will
Yeah.
pick up the more trash?
There should be, yeah. Yeah, 2.2 kilograms is the entry ticket to the litter picking world. I say, I hope I'm not too strict with it, but it's also kind of fair. If you want to be part of the discussion and giving directions where to go, you should at least have done something like 2.2 kilograms. Who would nobody would become the coach of a national team or football national team and never play football in his life. It's the same principle here when we compare it to sport.
Yeah.
If you're experienced and strong picker and over years, you become a leader one day. You lead a group, you lead a cleanup, a street cleanup, beach cleanup or something. Yeah, there is a lot of positive potential in the whole idea. Yeah. And one thing more, because you were talking about competition, well, the most preferable competition would be the competition about kilograms and globally, and it should take place online. But we also have, I never participated, but friends of mine participated. We have a world championship of litter picking. It took place in Italy last year, and you go for a run. You have, I don't know, 1 hour or so, and the one who comes back with the most kilos is the world champion. So like, if 1,000 people start running, you can clean the whole town, so to say.
What are some effective ways to face this problem and spread this awareness on the plastic?
Most important, of course, is that as many people as possible know about it. So what we do today, or what I also do on other days with other people, other journalists, podcasters, or television people, I bring this message of 2.2 kilograms out there. It's a message as simple as possible. Yeah, to just say, if everybody in the world picks 2.2 kilograms, once in a year the world would be clean from plastic trash. That's something you easily understand. Of course, behind this number of 2.2 kilograms, there is a lot more to understand. Yeah, but I want the job to be done. So I have to do this public work.
Yeah.
People who have a reach, people who have a voice, give the message out there. In the best case, they follow me on my Instagram account, the collectors 2.2 kilograms, because there I'll act as the daily reminder.
Wow.
Pick 2.2 kilograms. Pick 2.2 kilograms. I do it all over the year, for years. I clean everywhere I go. You can enjoy my journey besides it, and the nature I saved. And
What do you hope to achieve with this journey? Laurent?
yeah, I traveled from Germany to India, which is already quite a distance.
Oh wow, yeah.
I'll definitely go to Australia, and maybe I go around the world. Well, this is still far in the future, but I try to have the biggest impact possible for me as an individual on this litter picking culture to clean the world. I think with my number of 2.2 kilograms, I come with a very good idea, something that gives people something in their hand. What can I do personally in my daily life? Yeah, the best thing would be I reach everybody, but yeah, I have to be realistic. I'm curious. I want to find out what is my impact. How far can I go?
So after 35 countries, you still want to explore the earth.
Yes.
It's so fucking
It's.
yeah.
I would not say it's never ending,
Yeah.
but there is so much. It's enough for a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's a wow. That is just wow.
Yeah.
35 fucking countries.
Yeah,
And 4 years of constant traveling. Wow.
yeah, normally people have routines.
Yeah.
Every day is the same day. They go the same ways to work and back, and nothing is really changing. But for me, everything is always changing. The culture, the language, the landscape, the climate, the weather, and that's very refreshing for the mind.
Yeah.
There is nothing you can rely on, or a routine is often, it can make you fall asleep, kind of. Your mind is getting tired of life. For me, it's always
Exciting.
exciting, yeah. But you find, I would say, in the beginning, it's tiring that you have to learn all the time new stuff. But with the right technique, how to approach the new environment, it's not that tiring anymore. You get a experience or routine also on how to explore the next country.
How can people follow your journey and support your work?
On Instagram, my account is the collectors plural. Well, not the collectors 2.2 kilograms, but the collectors, of course, plural, because I want to win all the people, not only the collector, me, the collectors, all of us. And 2.2 kilogram, like I mentioned a couple of times, is the idea, or the number everybody should pick once in a year. I'm also on YouTube with the same name, the collectors 2.2 kilograms. On YouTube, I post the longer videos, or some filmmakers that did a documentary. So who is interested in story behind the journey more, you find that on YouTube. Well, you if you follow me, I keep you motivated and remind you. But the actual support of my project starts with speaking 2.2 kilograms. Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, get into action, do something. Liking is nice. Liking is motivating me as well. I really it really makes me happy when people appreciate what I do. But to get the job done, we also have to go out there and take action.